My name is
My name is
Jonathan
Jonathan
Brandis.
Brandis.
I'm
I'm
from
from
Germany
Germany
and
and
I
I
live
live
in
in
Munich
Munich
here
here
in
in
Germany.
Germany.
I'm
I'm
19
19
years
years
old
old
and
and
I'm
I'm
currently
currently
a
a
chemistry
chemistry
student
student
at
at
the
the
Technischen Universität München. And right around when the first lockdown was announced in March, I was in the process of graduating or completing my final exams. And around that time, it was hard because that basically led to all of our graduation ceremonies and celebrations being canceled. But at the time, I understood, and we also had a notice since March, as mentioned, because that's when the lockdown started, and we basically all knew that when the time came that we wanted to celebrate our graduation, it was going to be hard. So it was disappointing and sad, but at the same time, it was a very happy time for me because I completed school, and it was expected. So I understood the ramifications of the first lockdown. Um, Now the second lockdown after what was a great summer, considering the circumstances, was a little harder because basically the entirety of the months prior to the second lockdown, I was looking forward to getting started with my studies, and I really wanted to basically jump headfirst into the new life of a college student. But and up until 1 week before the classes would start, we all thought that we could at least go to college in person for some of the classes, if not all. But just before they were supposed to start, everything was canceled and moved to online. And now all my lectures are pre-recorded and just put on the university's platform for me to watch. It's not even a live Zoom event anymore. I don't get to meet any of my fellow students, my classmates, and basically I'm just at home studying from home, and that's a lot harder than maybe it was in the first lockdown because, as mentioned, this one wasn't expected, and I'm also more left by myself. In the first lockdown, I still had all my school friends to connect with and talk about our struggles with because we had the same struggles. Now I don't really have that many people to talk to that have the same struggles that I do. Um, and besides that, the online lectures are not ideal because it doesn't compare to learning in person. It's harder to get the motivation to sit down at home, and there's so many distractions around. And so I've struggled to maybe realize that what the work that I have to put in to stay on the right course with my studies, especially in a subject like chemistry. That requires a very good work ethic and is maybe harder than some other subjects. I have to say though that I still consider myself lucky with the situation that I am in, because I know people that live alone while I still live with my family, with both my parents and my sister, who I'm very close with. I'm very close with my sister, so that makes everything a lot easier. And it's just made me realize that maybe moving out very early is not the greatest idea, especially during these times. Also, a very fun thing that this lockdown has led to for me is that I've picked up chess as a hobby. Last year, during the second lockdown, Netflix came out with a show called The Queen's Gambit, and it's about a chess player and her rise through the ranks in the chess world. It's fictional, but it's a really good show, and it's led to a lot of people picking up chess as a hobby, and that includes me. And it's just been really, really fun. And chess is obviously also one of the few things that can just keep going during a pandemic, because there's so many options to play it online and on a computer. That's different to other sports, obviously. I also play tennis, which is impossible to do right now because everything is closed. Also, that's also one of the sad parts of the second lockdown, because during my studying for the final exams before my graduation, I stopped going to tennis for a while. I wanted to pick it up after summer again, but then everything was canceled. So yeah, that's something I'm really looking forward to for after everything's finished, hopefully soon, because just I miss the physical exercise, and I think when you're in lockdown, it's much harder to get the motivation, and also just it's much less fun to do physical exercise by yourself than with friends or teammates. For after the pandemic, there's two things I'm hoping for. One, I really hope that there will be some infrastructure in place and that we'll be ready for this to happen again, or something similar to happen again, because I'm convinced that with the amount of people that live on this earth by now, this will happen again, and it will become more frequent than it has in the past, maybe. And next time we should be more ready for something like this, especially with the technologies we have available to us now. Things like school or university shouldn't really be hitting a bump in the road. It should just be a smooth transition, because it should be very easy. And on a personal level, I hope that we can make up for the lost time a little bit. I missed a lot of stuff after my graduation, and at the beginning of my studies, all the college parties and getting to know new people. And so I'm hoping that we can be even more generous and kind and party even harder after the pandemic to make up for lost time.